Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let me make sure I talk into the mic as much as I can. I know in the Ivern guide that you guys should have seen yesterday, my voice kind of trailed off when I looked at the camera, so we're going to try to avoid that today. But either way, we're back with, I guess you could call it a patch 6.23 analysis. I guess that's what I make the title. I haven't decided yet. As of me making the video, you guys will obviously know what I decided on the title. But basically, I wanted to talk more about the new preseason and my opinions on it, and we're going to talk about the patch 6.23 changes, even though I know patch 6.23 has been out for a while, and I think it's probably going to, I guess it's going to get patched next week, but what can you do? Sorry, I just kind of bumped the mic. I don't know if you heard that, but anyways, we're going to talk about this, and then I'll talk about my power picks for this patch, like we did in the last patch analysis that I did, and we'll also probably talk just more about the game in its current state and how I feel about it, I guess. You know, I'm kind of tired, so there's probably gonna be a lot of rambling. It's gonna be one of those videos. I spent all day making that Ivern guide, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had some anxiety, so I came and made this before I went to bed. Here we go. Alright, so, oh yeah, do you guys like if you didn't see the Ivern guide, then I hope you go watch it. But if you haven't seen it, then you're like, wow, look at this cool overlay. Yeah, I made this overlay. And we'll be using it a lot because I like it a lot. And I can change out the background easily. Obviously, right now it's the Preseason 2017 login screen. None of that matters. Alright, so they released Elementalist Lux. That's cool. I don't play Lux. That's my whole opinion on it. I thought she had like 4 different skins from it, though. Does she have this many? I don't know. Let me know. Either way, it's like a cool skin, but who plays Lux? Playing Lux in 2017? Lol. Shyvana. Here's one that we can talk about. They changed Shyvana to where, let me go ahead and hide this. Alright, they changed Shyvana to where she's like an anti-dragon kind of thing. Like a self-hating dragon. They even dragon-hating dragon. The important part is that she deals 10% more damage to the dragons, which I don't know why they said elemental drakes, including elder dragon. This just means, well, I guess it's because it doesn't mean other Shyvanas or Aurelian Soul. She doesn't deal bonus damage to them. She deals bonus damage to the objective dragon. She also gains, for each dragon she or her ally slay, she gains an extra 5 armor magic resist. Now this is, it's strong. It's definitely strong, but like it's such a weird passive to have, you know, like now her whole passive revolves around getting the dragon, which of course getting the dragon, as it's always been, is good, but that doesn't win you the game. You know, getting the nexus and getting turrets and everything, like when a champion has passives that are directly affecting of turrets, like remember Azir's W, they had to take that away, etc, etc. Those are always really good because no matter what, you're gonna have to push turrets to eventually get to their nexus, but you don't have to get dragons to win the game at all. There are plenty of games I've won where the enemy team's gotten every single dragon and I still win. That just happens. So the fact that her whole passive revolves around dragons seems weird to me. But I do know that her win rate's pretty high right now as well. So maybe it's a really good thing and I'm just kind of underestimating it. My opinion on it is it's just weird. It's just weird that her passive now, like, it of course gives you a little bit bonus armor metrics on its own, but like for it to be good you have to kill dragons, and it helps you kill dragons, but that just seems so strange to me. All it means is if you're playing Shyvana, you better have really good dragon control. That's another thing. Her W, they also like reworked a lot of her abilities, not just her passive. Her W, the size scales up with ranks of her ult, but it no longer leaves a trail behind her. It just becomes a larger AoE around her. Her E now is like a linear skill shot that stops. I mean, it was always a linear skill shot. Now it's like a projectile that stops on the first enemy hit. And I think when she's in dragon form, it explodes. Okay, so in melee form, it just shoots out like normal, but it stops against the first champion hit. In dragon form, she can shoot it to whatever length she wants and make it explode there. It does explode. It stops in human form. It explodes in dragon form. And it increases damage. The size increases when you max your ult. Does ranking it up do anything? I don't think ranking it up does anything at all. Okay. Alright, whatever. And then her ult, no, she can't be stopped using her ult anymore, but her ult's a lot smaller now, so like, okay, no, it's not that much smaller. It's 100 range shorter. So, whatever. It was never, I don't think that was ever Shyvana's problem, was that she could be controlled while in her ultimate. I mean, I guess that was one of her problems, but her problem was, and still is, that she does plenty of damage, but she has no real crowd control on her own. Them taking away range from her makes her have even less crowd control, and having a jungler that has no crowd control and just does a lot of damage is not that competitive. I mean, there's Shyvana and Yi. They both do the exact same thing, but Yi does a lot more damage than Shyvana. Even now, he does. So, like, she's still Shyvana. She clears the jungle quickly. She does a lot of damage if she's given the chance, but she does not provide CC on her own, and that's just Shyvana. Same old, same old. Akali, they buffed. There was like some bug that happened on one of my last days of grinding to diamond. Thank God I got it, but where Akali's W was like bugged the hell out, and it reminded me how much I really hate Akali. Akali used to be like really, really good. I know most of you guys watching this are pretty new players, but back in the day, like season 2 or 3 or maybe even 4, I don't remember. It was a long time ago. Akali was like the assassin champion before Zed was released. You know, there was Akali. I hate Akali. Anyways, on to the next one. Anivia W lowered. E no longer deals damage against targets in R until the store is fully formed, but your arm forms faster. So it's like a tweak. That's what you call a tweak. It's not a buff. It's not a nerf. It's a tweak. Overall, it's kind of a nerf, but we're going to call it a tweak. It's a tweak. Eve. I hate Eve too. I hate Eve so much. Ban Eve. Ban Eve, guys. Ban Eve. Ban Eve. Ban Eve. Ban Eve. Okay. Katarina. She's also seems to be pretty good, but like hit or miss. I guess she's good because now she has a lot more mobility, which means she's a lot harder to actually crowd control. But as always, if you have click and point CC, which is like Maokai's W is what I mean when I say click and point. It's you select the target, you don't have to hit a skill shot, and you CC them. If you have any CC like that, you beat Katarina. So she's, even though she's got a lot more mobility, she is actually harder to play if you only have skill shot CC. Before it wasn't as hard, but in the end, if you have point and click CC, you beat Katarina. Rammus's E, Galio's ult counts, Maokai's W, Nautilus's ult. The list goes on. Lux's ult got nerfed. They call it a clarity thing. It's a nerf for Lux players. Malzahar. Here's one that I actually wanted to talk about for a little bit. So what they did to Malzahar was they kind of reworked his W because it used to give him pretty stupid strength. If you just had enough mana to use your W, you had enough mana to shove out any wave almost no matter what, and you couldn't get pushed in his Malzahar, etc., etc. Now they made it to where his W works. I'm not even going to like read all this stuff. I'll tell you what it does. It now has a charge effect, so it stores up to 2 charges. They no longer spawn multiple voidlings when voidlings get a kill. So before, if you had one voidling and he killed a minion during like the first 8 seconds of his life or whatever, then another voidling would spawn. And if that one killed one, another one would spawn. And that's how you got the Void Swarm, as the ability is called. Now you only spawn one voidling. I mean, you can spawn up to 2 because you get 2 charges. They do not spawn multiples when they kill monsters, but they do still spawn multiples when they're hitting enemy champions and I think monsters. Let's actually read for that. Okay, Voidlings deal 300% damage to minions affected by E. They now did that, so as long as you have your E and your W, it's about the same pushing power. Before, you just needed your W, and your E and your W was like massive pushing power. Now, your E and W still is massive pushing powers, because once your E's on a target, you auto-attack it, and like a Voidling auto-attacks it, it pretty much kills it. They still spawn when they hit champions, but they can only spawn within the first 3 seconds. And they no longer gain bonus attack speed, and they only gain bonus movement speed if they're close to Malzahar. It's overall, it's a little bit of a nerf, but it does have an upside. Pretty big upside is that you can now spawn 2, at once. So if you spawn 2 on a target and then ult them, then you'll have 2, they hit it, and then all of a sudden you have 4, then they hit it 6. Like, they grow quicker when you're ulting a champion. So if they're given the chance, they do a lot more damage than they did before. They even increase the ability power ratio. They do a lot more damage against champions. Now, they are weaker for pushing and stuff like that. So overall, you have to say it's kind of a nerf, but Malzahar's single target burst went up with this change. So it's pretty cool. I like playing him. Orianna, they removed a bug that people were abusing. Rengar, removed a bug that was hurting Rengar. Shen, they buffed. Who cares? Who cares? Who honestly cares? Yorick, who cares? This is a cool one. They buffed Blade of the Ruined King. So now Blade of the Ruined King does more damage on hit than it used to do. So that's pretty cool. That plus the buff to Guinsoo's Rage Blade, I think is part of the reason why Shyvana is really good right now. Because you probably are going to build both these items on Shyvana and then like full tank afterwards. But they buffed Guinsoo's, which I always thought Guinsoo's was so weird. Technically, it gave you more attack speed than the building up items once you got it fully stacked. And that's actually what they say right here. But when you first bought it, it was a nerf. So, I mean, it like lowered your attack speed until you got up stacks of your rage. So, buff that. They buffed Steris Gauge. They made it cheaper. This is only on Twisted Tree Line. Nobody cares. Now, here's the only other thing I wanted to talk about. Now, I don't know if this is a bug with Ivern. I've yet to try out the specific Ivern route I do on any other champions, but they changed the EXP. I don't think it's a bug because overall the amount of experience in the jungle is about the same. So what they did was they took experience off of the big raptor and they put some of the experience onto the miniature Krugs. But what this means for Ivern, I'm playing a lot of Ivern, obviously I made a guide about him yesterday, is that doing the 5 camp clear, which is blue, wolves, raptors, red, and Krugs, would only get you to level 3 and almost level 4 on Ivern. Now, I don't know if that's an Ivern bug or if that's intended, but because of it, it kind of sucks because that's like pretty much a full clear as far as Ivern's concerned. You can do the exact same thing, but opposite. You can do red, raptors, wolves, blue, Gromp, and that will get you to level 4. But if you do the reverse, it'll only get you to level 3 and almost level 4. So because of that, kind of ticks me off. It makes it to where one route's definitely better on Ivern. The red route, I mean, the blue route's still okay because you only need 1 minion. So if you gank a lane and like and smite a minion while you're there, then yeah, you hit level 4. But overall, it's just it's weird. It's another one of those really weird changes. I understand if they want to take experience away from the Raptors and put it on Krugs, because how the jungle was before this patch was if your jungle champion could kill Raptors, then they were better than every other jungler in the game. And that's just how it was, because Raptors gave you a ton of experience and they do a lot of damage. They still do a lot of damage, so a lot of champions can kill them. So they took away a little bit of that strength, but I don't know why they wouldn't just make it the same amount of experience in the jungle. Why does this say the amount of experience in the jungle is about the same? Why is it not the same? I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. Right, whatever. Do what you want. And then other than that, that's about it. All the rest are a little bit of changes. One other thing we're talking about is autofill is enabled in all draft queues at all times. It's pretty much ranked. It's always on. Autofill is always on. It's okay. They're easy supports to play. If you guys get filled support and you don't know what to do, don't say, "Oh God, I don't support. Can somebody else do it?" Or else I'm gonna troll. Blah blah blah. Don't be like that. Just play Janna, play Soraka, play Blitzcrank or Braum. Any of those. Play Morgana. Morgana's another one. Any of those champions you can play support pretty easily, and it's pretty easy to do well. And just remember, most of the time, if you're the one that got autofilled, nobody else on your team got autofilled. So they probably all know how to play their roles decently. So just try to do what you got autofilled on decently, and you'll probably still win. It's okay, guys. It's okay. Other than that, bunch of crap. Let's see. Blah blah blah. No. Okay. So that's gonna be it for reading the patch stuff. Next, I think I'm just gonna pull up like a gameplay, and we'll talk about my power picks. And if I remember anything, we'll talk about the state of the game right now. But yeah, I'll just see you guys in a minute. Alright, so we're just gonna have some of my Nasus jungle footage in the background, and I'm gonna talk about mainly about what kind of, we're just gonna touch on some jungle topics, and I'll talk about my power picks for the patch, and then that'll be it. And let's just go ahead and make this like... how long was this game? We'll do 4 times. Alright, so first off, I think the first thing we should talk about is probably Courage of the Colossus. So, the thing about Courage of the Colossus is... I'm gonna have to mute this. Hold on, game. Alright. Much better. Okay. So, the thing about Courage of the Colossus is it's a little bit better than I had first anticipated. If you saw my last video on Courage of the Colossus called, what was it? Who can take Courage of the Colossus and should you? It's something like that. A lot of what I said was right. It's not great on every champion. Courage of the Colossus isn't. Like, I know a lot of people have been trying to use it on Galio, and I just haven't seen them have that much success with it. So it's like, it's okay, but on the champions that can use it, it's really strong, and it makes those champions really good. One example is Vi. Vi has the highest win rate on champion.gg, which means plat and above. Vi has the highest win rate in the jungle right now. She's very strong if given the oh god, let me turn off this chat too. Chat's always cancer. Okay, sorry. Vi is super strong, and you do take Courage of the Colossus on her. You get it on her Q, and you get it on her ult. I don't know if I mentioned her in my video, but she's one of the ones that benefited almost the most from it. You've got other champions like Skarner's making good usage of it. Hecarim, of course, I've said Hecarim's probably one of the best junglers in the game right now. He's making good usage of it, etc., etc. It's very strong. A lot of people are saying Riot needs to nerf it. I'm kind of like split on that. I guess they do, because I feel like most of the champions that can use it have a little bit of an advantage over other champions. Maybe, but it just doesn't feel like it's super broken to me. It still doesn't. And I've been playing as much as I can. It still doesn't feel like Courage of the Colossus absolutely breaks the game or anything. I'm going to slow this down a little bit because I don't want to run out of time. But, you know, that's what people are saying. People are saying that Courage of the Colossus needs to be nerfed. I'm pretty undecided on it because, like, you see here, Rammus does not make that good usage of it. Their Rammus has Courage of the Colossus, and for him, that's the only good mastery on him, but it doesn't make Rammus super broken, and it doesn't make, there's a few other I'm thinking of. It really benefits, like, bruisers that want to take it. So, for example, I've seen Rivens. I've seen a lot of Rivens have it. I've seen, of course, Vi. We talked about her. I think Jax can make pretty good usage out of it, too. It's weird. It's like, it makes bruisers really good, but full tanks can't make that good of usage out of it. But that's pretty much the only thing that full tanks have. Now, I mean, Maokai can make pretty good usage out of it, so maybe it's just Rammus's kit, because Rammus doesn't build that much health. Maybe that's why it's not that great on him, but I don't know. I have my ups and downs. I just still don't think Courage of the Colossus is like best keystone in the game, game breaker, or anything like that, but I do know it's good. Alright, other than that, as far as how the jungle's going, Riot said this, and they said this, now that I think about it, they've said this like the past couple of seasons. They try to make the jungle to where it benefits, like, there are strong aspects for AoE clears, and there are strong aspects for single damage clears. Or, I mean, well, AoE and single target damage. Yeah, that's right. So, for example, right now, there's Gromp, Red, and Blue Buff are all single monster camps. And then there's Krugs, Raptors, and Wolves are all AoE monster camps. And Riot tries to make it to where no matter what champion you play, what kind of damage they do, they'll be good in the jungle. But that never really works out, and it's still not working out right now. The way the game is... the way the game is right now, it feels like if your champion does decent single target damage, so maybe they're AD, and their auto attacks do a lot of damage, or maybe they're like Nasus, they have one really powerful single target damage spell, Nasus being his Q, and then they have a strong AoE, which in this case, Nasus' E, or you could say, you know, Shyvana's W, or Vi's own E, or Q, or etc., etc. These kind of champions seem like they have it the best. Like, full AoE champions don't seem like they're doing that well. For example, Cho'Gath, you don't see any very high win rate Cho'Gath jungles or anything, do you? And you don't see really high win rate Xin Zhao or Warwick jungles, you know, those, or maybe even Master Yi, you know, all these historic single target damage champions. So it seems to me like your champion needs to have the mix of both worlds. Just good single target damage, but like one strong AoE spell. Hecarim has his Q, etc., etc. That's what it feels like right now junglers need to have. So unfortunately, Warwick's not viable. I can't wait till they rework Warwick. I don't know. He's one of those champions that's super fun to play, but he's just not good. On that note, Echo sucks. Don't be asking about Echo. He's terrible, and I don't want to play him. I love Echo. He's been my favorite champion for so long, but they have to buff him. And until they buff him, he's just not fun to play. He's just so bad. So I'm not going to be playing Echo. That's all I can say. I'm not going to be playing him because I think he's really bad. Next up, I guess we'll go ahead and go for the power picks. I mean, as far as lanes go, there are strong laners in certain lanes, but I think the jungle is what most of us are worried about, and that's my opinion on it. So as far as my power picks, number 1, we're going to go from top lane down to support. Top lane, I actually have Jarvan the 4th as my power pick for top lane. Jarvan, he doesn't have the highest win rate in top lane right now, but I put him up there because he's a champion that has not been good for such a long time. Poor Jarvan, he's just been like mediocre forever. And I feel like he's kind of raising up. I feel like if you build you can make good usage of Courage of the Colossus on him, which is definitely a boost to him. But also, if you build the meta golem, as they call it, so if you go Iceborne Gauntlets, Sunfire Cape, Spirit Visage, or, you know, kind of like those 3 and then tank after that or something, Jarvan's making really good usage out of it. If you get 40% CDR, Jarvan's really strong, and I just feel like he's one of those champions that you don't expect to be good, but he's actually a pretty good top. Now you'll also see like full damage Jarvans. I don't think those are nearly as good as like the meta golem build, so just be wary of Jarvans. That's why I'm putting him. He's one of those picks that you don't expect to be that good, but I do think he's actually pretty strong right now in this patch. Now next for jungle, we have, believe it or not, Shaco in the jungle. Now, Shaco is a champion that forever everyone has said, God, Shaco sucks. I don't want to play Shaco. I mean, there was like one guy, Shocklone, that played a lot of Shaco, and I know there are a bunch of people that like to play Shaco and like to ask about him, but let's face it, guys, high elo players don't play Shaco unless if they're like one-trick ponies and they only get that high because they're way too good at such a bad champion. Most high elo players stayed away from Shaco. He just wasn't that good. But right now, it seems like, I'm pretty sure they buffed some of his damages. I know they gave him the little triangle box spawn, etc., etc. Shaco is just really good right now. He's actually good in jungle and in top lane, but I wanted to use him for jungle, and I didn't want to use him also for top lane because that'd be lame. So just be really wary of Shaco. Shaco's been a champion that you think forever he just sucks and that no one's going to be able to make usage out of him, but all of a sudden he's actually really good. He has a really high win rate in top and jungle, and he's just someone that you need to watch out for all of a sudden. I haven't played any Shaco. If he stays this good, I'll start playing him, but for now, I still don't want to play him, and I still don't think, I mean, he's good, but it seems like Riot's probably going to nerf him, and then he's going to go back to being Shaco. But we'll see. If he stays strong, then I'll learn how to play him. Next up mid, we're actually going to put Malzahar as our power pick. I touched on this a little bit earlier, but Malzahar is actually very, very strong if you use him correctly. And using him correctly means, sorry, I was actually watching the gameplay. It's distracting me. Using him correctly is just making good usage out of his voidlings. He actually does more damage than he did before, and I think that surprises people. I think a lot of people think Malzahar got nerfed and he's really weak right now. He's not. His playstyle just changed just a little bit, but he's actually pretty strong if you use him correctly, and he was strong beforehand. I mean, even though they nerfed him a little bit, like in the end it is a little bit of a nerf. He was strong beforehand and he's still strong now, so watch out for Malzahars. For AD carry, we have Twitch again. I used Twitch last time in the last patch analysis and power picks thing, but I mean, Twitch is just, he's the highest win rate by far on AD carries. You see him in almost every single game. He's not to where he's getting banned quite yet, but he does have the highest win rate for AD carries in the game. He has an absurdly high play rate, and he's just really strong. It's the new stealth mechanics, and they buffed some items that are good on Twitch, etc., etc. He's very good right now. I might recommend banning him, honestly. If you don't know how to play versus him, he's definitely worth a ban. You have to get... He's just so good at flanking and carrying team fights by diving your backline right now that it's just kind of scary. And if you're not playing a tank that can deal with him one-on-one or something similar, then it might be worth banning Twitch. So, sorry, I slowed it, but we're almost on the last power pick, so we'll speed back up. But anyways, Twitch, he's good. I don't know if he has the highest win rate. That kind of speaks for itself. But I just think you guys need to watch out. If you see a Twitch, just be really wary. Maybe try camping him, putting him behind early, getting your 80 carry fed, because Twitch is definitely someone to be a force to be reckoned with, we'll say. All right, so for the last one, support, we have Janna again. I've actually been playing Janna a little bit. You guys know I hate Janna. You guys know I hate Janna to death if you're actually a fan of my channel. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see that I retweeted what Meteos said. He said, when they introduce 10 bans, I'll never play versus a Janna again. Same. I hate Jannas. They're like the LeBlanc of bot lane, but it's for 2 people. It's just impossible to gain Jannas. Janna does her job, which is peeling and supporting disgustingly well. She has the highest win rate on support. She's probably had the highest win rate on support for like the majority of the patches every single season because she's Janna. I hate Jannas. A lot of people underestimate Janna and they're like, why do you hate Janna? She's just a support. Who cares? But Jannas, especially at higher elos, they tend to win games. So that's one of those picks that if you guys get autofill to support, since autofill is on all the time, I definitely recommend trying to play Janna. She's easy. She's so easy. Just position way in the back and E your carries. And when the enemies dive on you or your carries, press your ult. And then E your carries. And then tornado them. And then E your carries. It's disgusting. She's really good. She also got a boost with Redemption. And I've been going to Fiends and Holy Grail on her. I know that's not the meta build, but Redemption, giving her a heal when her only heal beforehand was just her ult. She got some boost in power this season as well. Or this preseason. So, Janna, she's disgusting. I hate her. She's very good right now. Gross. Alright, but anyways, that's it for the power picks. If you guys have any more questions about this patch, you know, feel free to ask. Or anything about the preseason, feel free to ask. If you guys want me to make, I can make more videos like optimized jungle routes or anything like that. Just let me know. Just let me know. If you guys have any questions, I'm always happy to help. But anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, blah blah blah. You know, I hate saying it, but it does help me out a lot, guys. It helps grow the channel out a lot, so I appreciate it when you do it. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Oh shit, I meant to alt tab. All right, here we go. Bye bye.